In this episode of the GigaBoots podcast, I make a regrettable statement in the first minute that was a very simple mistake, and I regret saying it and apologize. Instead of editing it to pretend I never made this error, I will now present the original podcast in its full glory. Hey, this is Dan
and Bob
from GigaBoots.com, and welcome to the GigaBoots podcast number 40. Oh man, there's the title. That's a big number.
Oh,
it's a good title.
For some reason, I thought we were on 49 and then we're going to 50.
No.
Weird. Okay.
No, you're off by 10. We're now at 40.
Whoa.
Really, we're at like 80.
Don't tell them; they'll find out.
They'll go watch the old stuff. I hear a lot of it went down with Blip.
Ooh.
Watch as I care.
Right? I mean...
Yeah. It's like, how am I supposed to care about really episodes of our podcast going down when, one, I know that it's bad, and two, we've spent more effort in technical stuff on... Sonic Month. There we go. Sonic Month. The fucking videos that didn't come out of that.
Right, and so much of podcasts is it's all about what's happening right now.
Right. So. I mean, it's always... I've gone back a couple times, listened to really old episodes, and it's been weird. I'm like, I don't agree with you, Past Dad.
Get out of here.
Get out of my head. Man, if past yous lived in current yous, that you're doing that backwards. Because then you're layering on top of yourself weird future-spective things. And the further back you go, the more layers you have shed. Yeah, no, that's the opposite of how that's supposed to work in a normal human brain, but okay. That's terrifying. Let's not talk about that anymore. But yeah, it's late in the week. We're going to get a goddamn podcast up this week. So we were like, hey, we should record. And Eric is drunk, so Eric is not here. Mostly because we didn't want to pick Eric up. So,
yes.
So we're doing the podcast without him. I hope it was worth it. No, I don't know. I don't even know what he's drinking. Oh, wait, he said something about rum. Whatever. None of that matters. What does matter is that we're doing this podcast. Bob, what have you been playing in the last week?
I think that, most of it has been Smash Brothers. Mm-hmm. I got to play a little bit more Bayonetta and a lot of Guilty Gear. Finally got that.
Guilty Gear Xrd.
Sign.
They don't say it on the title
They
screen.
don't, but it's there.
It's not canon.
I'm reading it because it's there. We always have to do that. It probably also has press option buttons.
What about limited edition?
Yeah, it's also part of it.
Okay.
So Axis too. That's part of the title.
Okay, Axis Games. Gotcha. What the hell came with the limited edition?
I set the Souls keychain, which is it's got the free logo like on his belt buckle.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that's part of the title too. Free.
Is that? I don't even see the word "free" on it.
It's scratched in like it is.
It's upside down and scratched in crazily. Okay.
I like it. I think I'll use it.
It's a keychain version of the buckle. It's weird.
It feels smooth. Like it wouldn't be disruptive in a pocket. Like I've seen some real bad keychains that are just like spikes, like the Witcher 2 keychain.
Yeah,
probably the worst keychain ever made.
I feel like at some point Kingdom Hearts might have had one that was just like Sora's necklace. Okay, and that seems like that might be a pretty bad idea to keep in your pocket, but whatever.
Because I've seen the Keyblade ones, and I'm like, that doesn't look that bad.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like it'd be comfortable, but it doesn't look like Witcher 2 territory.
It doesn't look like your pocket's gonna have holes in it.
Right.
So what else other than that keychain came with the limited edition?
We got the a character book. And it's
an art book.
Mini soundtrack. It's not. It has some pages of art, and then the rest is just like one picture of the character and a description of their history, and has stuff that happened to them in each game.
Huh.
And a timeline in there too.
So just recovering keychain, character book, and what was it? Soundtrack. And it's the normal soundtrack for the game, or
I haven't had a chance to. It's only one disc. I haven't had a chance to listen to it. It says a Guilty Gear vocal track or something, and that's really worrying.
Yeah, because I've listened to the Guilty Gear XX vocal
LA
OST.
vocals.
Yeah, LA vocal. Oh my god.
But I'm hoping that's not what this is, and that it's just the regular music.
Speaking about music, Starbomb, the thing between Ego Raptor and those other people where they make music albums.
Yeah.
they came out with a new album really recently. Their fans started having shit fit when they went to upload the album to YouTube and Starbomb took it down.
Okay. Why would
Because they don't understand the idea of copyright. Yep. They're like, hey, if you make some companion material, like if you make a music video for one of our songs, we don't care. But you guys are just uploading our music, so go fuck yourself.
Right.
But it was a lot more elaborate. Like, it was a large post they made on this, a really well written out thing of like 3 paragraphs or something, in order to explain to them this basic concept of, hey, asshole, we get money from things so that way we have the human time necessary to make things. When you take our things and prevent us from making money by giving it to other people, you don't get cool shit anymore. So fuck you. I just thought that was the most amazing thing that he had to explain that to his own fan base.
Yeah.
Internet people are great. Best people in the world. This bucket of people is the best bucket of people in the world. You play anything else in the last week?
Like I said, I played more Bayonetta 2. I finally finished that on the hardest difficulty.
Oh, cool. I bet you got something really neat for doing that. What'd you get?
Nothing. I got, like, a fake trophy. Not even, like, you know, that gives you trophies in the game. No, not like that. Like,
right.
like achievement system that's not really achievement system.
So you got a fake Chivo.
Yes, and it's just... It's frustrating.
That's incredible.
It's like, I don't even want that. Take it back.
Yeah. What did Bayonetta 1 do when you
I'm pretty sure I got unlocked a lightsaber.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was actually cool.
I'm sure Nintendo was like, man, nobody's gonna... Don't put that in there. We don't have the budget for that. And they're like, oh, you mean no one's gonna beat it on the highest difficulty? And they're like, no one's gonna buy it. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess that there's all the other extra stuff in there, like all the Nintendo costumes and stuff, but I'm like,
but
that's
none
cool.
of them came with beating it on the hardest difficulty, so that feels...
Yeah, so it feels hollow.
Yeah. But there you go. That's old school, man. The reward for beating games on the highest difficulty was the fact you did it. It just feels so good inside that you're just that good at the game.
I mean, even Devil May Cry 1, when I beat it on the hardest difficulty, it freaking gave me, like, Super Dante.
Yeah.
And the Infinite Devil Trigger.
Yep.
It was a good reward.
Well, Kamiya wasn't directing this one, so no one was there to be like, hey, you don't understand. This demo they need something. They need a thing. The hardest difficulty being super hard and then beating it doesn't count. Hell, I think even the God of Wars gave you, like, an extra ending clip. Yeah, God of War 3 did. God of War 1 did, I think, and that was questionable what it did show. I'm like, isn't that not canon?
That sounds like God of War 1.
But it's cool. It's
right,
something.
Something. It's like being Halo on the hardest difficulty gets you an
Hold
almost
me.
glimpse of Master Chief's face each time, which is the stupidest. It's like, you know what? That stinks.
It's
That's
something.
It is something, but it is
It's better than nothing. But it is better than nothing.
Yes.
Yes.
I guess Halo 1 did really well because that gave you the scene of
Keys.
Commander Keys and some elite.
Yeah. Get it all makey outy.
Yeah.
At least I think that was Keys. Somebody's probably having a shit fit somewhere. It's not Keys. Keys is the lady.
Keys is the lady. I thought that was... No, she was very white. There's no way that was his daughter.
No, I don't believe. Yeah, because Keys was the main guy in charge of the first ship.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I can't remember the name of.
Man.
I'm sure some Halo fanboys having a shit fit.
Yeah,
it's like, why don't you care more about the lore? And I'm like, well, why'd they kill him with the plant god in the third one?
Right.
That was lame as shit after he made it off of the Halo.
Even though he really shouldn't have.
Right? Which was funny as hell. That was hilarious in 2 in the beginning, where it's like, how'd you get off that planet? And he's like, top secret. It's like, lol, they're making a joke about how that shouldn't be the case at all. They don't fucking care. It's great.
It's great.
I like it. But I don't like the idea of playing through a high difficulty mode to not unlock a thing.
Right. It's like... And now I'm looking through like the strategy guide and stuff. I'm not seeing any sort of unlockable that's unlocked from beating all the witch trials, which are insanely hard.
Yeah.
Like they are no screwing around. You can't die. You're fighting 2 bosses at once several times in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've watched some of that stuff. It is completely nuts. And the idea that you aren't going to get anything for it is like, maybe you should have just beaten this game on the normal difficulty and sort of been done with it.
I mean, third climax is, I feel like that's an enjoyable difficulty.
Oh,
Infinite climax is the final one you unlock.
Okay.
That was not what I would describe as an enjoyable difficulty.
What did it do exactly?
Mainly just every boss became literally untouchable unless you were in witch time, and that's just boring. Like, that's just, oh, well, you can't even hit him when you're not in witch time, so you only get like a half second of witch time. You can't really combo there. You have to use nothing but dodge offset to try and get a higher hit or combo up, and that's just not that fun.
Yeah, that's a lot of waiting around for that attack.
Right, and it's just like, I don't want to wait. That's stupid. But I was reading through the strategy guide too, and there's also a bracelet of time, which is straight from Devil May Cry 1, and that lets you activate witch time anytime just using magic.
Ah, so that
might have helped. I don't know how fast it burns through witch time or burns through your magic bar though, and building up your magic bar is done by activating witch time, which it takes away the normal activation of witch time. So I don't know how you build up that magic. Maybe it's just that you need to dodge and else look at the magic.
Or just keep eating stars or whatever they are in that one. Lollipops.
Devil stars still, I'm sure.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. No, witch stars. Don't be stupid.
Oh, okay.
It's completely different. You also started... I feel like maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm thinking about myself. Did you start playing as a new character in Smash this last week, or was that really just me playing as several new characters? Because I thought you tried one new one and you tried to figure that out. I remember Eric tried to make Wii Fit Trainer work, and that just didn't happen.
I tried to do that too. I think I gave her more matches than he did even. I was just like, no, it's okay. I'm trying to do Captain Falcon just because, I don't know, Falcon Punch is cool.
Yeah, it is. That's hilarious. Every kill with a Falcon Punch is a salty kill.
Yes, definitely. I've been on the receiving end of far too many of those.
Yes, you have. In fact, I wish it kept track of that in the records. Like, Falcon Punch is received, and then it just groups that together with the Wizard Punch or whateter.
Yeah. The other thing I played, Suikoden 2, I finally...
that came out on the PS3, Vita, yeah. So, are you enjoying its terrible sound design?
Other than its terrible sound design,
okay,
it seems pretty good.
Okay,
I'm not like as blown away as I was kind of expecting to be.
Yeah,
because this game had been hyped up by literally like everyone who liked JRPGs I'd ever met.
Yeah, that's true. Same here. Yeah.
And with going from that, I still remember parts of 3 pretty well. I feel like 3 did a lot of things better, and I have to wonder if they were just blinded by the nostalgia of 2, or maybe...
No one's ever done that, Bob. It must just be you.
But it's super weird to go in there, and like they're taller sprites, kind of like you see in Chrono Trigger, but they only move in 4 directions. Like in Pokemon and stuff, so it feels super weird because then like I'm used to having a diagonal movement and stuff when you have the full size sprites that aren't perfectly square.
Yeah,
because it just doesn't feel right moving them.
So it feels like jank. That's great. Good to know. How's the combat?
The combat seems all right. I'm trying to
describe it at all. Is it turn-based?
It's turn-based.
Okay.
There's 6 characters instead of like the typical.
That's a fucking buttload.
Yes, it's insane how many characters are in the combat at once.
I wonder if this is before or after Pokemon, just because that's the only other RPG I can think of where it's like you have 6 goddamn people.
Right, but even that's like, but one at a time.
One at a time. Yeah.
No, this is 6 at a time.
Fuck it. Throw them all out. Throw all the Pokeballs.
But yeah, they have a lot of things around. When you get different party members, some of them have team attacks where like, these guys are buddies, so they have a buddy attack.
Oh, okay.
And they do extra damage set, and it doesn't seem to take mana or anything.
You know what did that pretty cool?
What?
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been sad that not many games have systems like that. And like Suikoden seems like they've always had that sort of thing in there. And they also have 108 characters, which is insane.
Yes, it is. That is literally a bad idea on paper. Like, I just don't think that's going to go well by the end. It'll just be like, here's my massive trove of characters.
I bet that it'll...
50 of which I'll never use.
Yeah, that's kind of how it felt in 3. They're just like, oh, well, you kind of make a team that you like and you use them. And there are so many slots on your team that you can probably keep the main 2-3 guys with you all the time, and then if story relevant ones, I'm sure will be shoved in at certain points.
Forced.
Yeah.
Okay. So overall, not kind of disappointed.
I don't know. I guess a little disappointed. Yeah. Like I said, I thought it was going to be amazing. It's okay so far. Maybe there's some point where it just turns and blows me away.
I feel like you're going through the same thing with this that Joe Redifer from GameSack went through with Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Where it's just
he came to the party late and then...
I mean, 6 was really good.
Ah, okay.
6 was insanely good. So everyone hyping up 7, he finally gets to play and he's like, nah. I mean, I know lots of people who felt that way. That 6 was arguably better than 7. 7 just had really pretty graphics.
6 is really good. Like, I have a hard time placing them because I really do like the materia system in 7. Like that or the what were they called? Espers? Yeah, the Esper system in 6 was really good though.
Yeah. So clearly the best one's 9. I'm saying that because Aggro's not here.
So someone needs
to say that to piss off the 7 fanboys.
9 is... man, 9's ability system is really good too. God. Those three are amazing.
Yeah, 7, 8, and 9. Right?
No.
Those 3?
No.
I thought we were talking in a row. Then which 3 are you talking about? 7, 9, and 10?
No.
Which 3?
6, 7. Then we go ahead and skip and go to 9.
Okay, and then we stop it there forever.
Yeah. God, they really haven't been anywhere close to as good.
That's because they're not trying. The new one's not going to be anywhere near as good anyways because they're not fucking trying. They're like, coming up with clever systems is really hard. Let's just do stuff that'll look impressive. Like, oh look, an MMO style system with large streaming areas and
I'm really looking forward to trying 15. I want to know what they do or what they do.
Yeah. What you do?
I realized earlier this year Lightning Returns came out, and that is crazy to me.
Yes. I keep telling you this is the longest year ever.
And you're right.
And I hear all these people say, like, oh man, barely any video games came out this year. And I'm like, no, quite a few did.
They were just all disappointing.
Yes. I can probably get behind that statement. I feel like the only one I wasn't resoundingly disappointed by was probably Infamous. I felt like the climbing in Infamous was worse than the previous games, but I also felt other parts of it were better and the combat was better executed. Everything else was just kind of, man, fuck Destiny. I guess maybe if you're hella into 3rd gen Pokemon, that would have been a really nice game to get this year. I got it. I'm not hella into 3rd gen Pokemon. So I kind of stopped playing it. And yeah, so how about you, Bob? What have you been disappointed by this year?
I mean, Destiny, obviously.
I'm
trying to think. I wasn't just hyped up as a lot of people were for most of the things that were super disappointing, like Watch Dogs.
Oh.
Because that was this year, and that was also super hype train.
I don't understand how hype trains can survive a 9-month delay. How does that work?
I don't know, man. I don't even.
Okay. Oh, sorry, guys. 7-month delay. Completely different.
Yeah, totally different.
Radically different.
I'm trying to think what else has come out. Lightning Returns was a disappointment. Like, pretty majorly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was like...
Smash Bros. On 3DS and Wii U make one amazing game and 2 great games.
I'm still upset that Smash Bros. On 3DS, like, has so many crashing issues. Like, I can't suspend
yeah.
that game. It just dies.
Yeah. Yeah, it never did stop having those problems.
It's crazy.
You've checked to see that there isn't an update for it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because normally it tells you, hey, there's an update when you try to reboot it.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm just disappointed that the 3DS has better levels.
Yeah.
Than the Wii U one?
It does seem to, and it's crazy. I'm like, what? Why aren't these levels just in higher resolution on the Wii U, on the PlayStation 4?
Yeah, I'd pay $10 just to get a high res version of those levels over on Wii U.
Right.
In a heartbeat, I'd pay $10. Just
that would give us more levels. Those levels are better than a lot of levels we did get, like Animal Crossing again.
Yeah, which is the exact same.
We have two Animal Crossing levels that are identical, and
they're next to each other on the menu too, which makes it even more
it's like
hysterical. Yeah,
I would rather have like Hyrule Castle from the original Smash Bros. Than that.
That's a tall order for me. I don't know that any sentence ends in I would prefer to have that level again. I know people like it. I get that. It's fine. Whatever. I'm just saying I would like maybe instead of these new levels a good level.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But yeah. And then I hate that there isn't an actual classic mode in the Smash Bros. On the Wii U. And there technically isn't one on the 3DS either. There are just modes they're calling classic in both, which are weird things that are not classic. And I'm a little pissed that they called them classic.
It is a really weird choice of names.
And it's just like, oh, here's your classic mode where you just fight a bunch of guys. And I'm like, then shit, Smash multiplayer is classic mode if that's your one fucking identifier.
Yeah, I wish that at least they didn't have that roulette. Like, I want to be more certain that I'm getting stuff.
Yeah.
And that roulette can sometimes come up with the worst junk.
I just fucking, I hate how you get stuff in the new one. It's much better in Melee when you didn't have all these customization options and what you would unlock or fucking money, which you then use through one method to get trophies.
Yeah.
That was a much better feeling because your one goal was to do the trophy pachinko. No, not pachinko.
It was just one of those blind
capsule things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that right now. But yeah, it's you just do any mode, get money, go spend it on that. That's way easier to feel like you're making progress than this new one where it's like, give money to do Trophy Rush?
Or just buy trophies. I think that if they just had it so you could buy moves, like just straight up go to the menu, go to the character you want to buy moves for and buy them there, it'd be a lot easier to feel like you were making progress in that department.
I mean, yeah, in that department, definitely. Fucking Trophy Rush gives you so many redundant trophies and you can't even prevent that.
Right.
It's like, oh, half of your trophies were fucking old, hooray.
Right.
Whereas in the capsule thing in Melee, the more money you spent, the lower the probability of it being old was, to the point of you could spend a good chunk of change and it would never be old. Which was great.
That is very much preferable.
Yeah. So, yeah, even if you're just going for trophies, this new system's frustrating. If you're going for the customization options, it's even more frustrating. Really, really frustrating. But, Bob, have you been playing anything else other than Guilty Gear, Smash Bros., Suikoden 2, and Bayonetta 2?
I feel like that was everything.
Bayonetta 2. So, I played a lot of Smash. That's all I've done because I've been busy.
Right.
But I also watched every Rocky movie.
I think
finally,
a good thing to do.
No. I can tell you right now, those are grossly overhyped movies.
Of course.
Well, I mean, there's not, of course. I feel like at the end of watching Apocalypse Now that there was something meaningful gained from that. Not that it was an amazing and great film, but it's just like, so this is what happens when you go to Vietnam and just say, fuck it, I'm going to keep filming, and a movie will come out of this. I guess they went to the Philippines, but, whatever. Close enough for film. But, yeah, like, that's... I felt good watching that. I feel like Rocky almost falls into the trap of... Oh, man, what was the Running Man called? Was it called that? I can't remember. It was the Schwarzenegger movie where it was a fucking show where...
yeah, I think that was Running Man.
Okay, so yeah, sorry, they changed the name between the book and the movie, if I remember correctly. So that's why that's confusing to me to recall. But
Right.
yeah, that was a disappointment because that was stupid. It was stupid and terrible, and there was only one good thing gained from it, which was Kojima stole the rocket, the flamethrower dude from this. That was it. That was the one part where I felt like I gained something from watching that.
I also found out where the quote of "I'm going to take my fist and ram it into your stomach."
See, that didn't matter to me. That mattered less than that GIF that was made out of the fucking Rocky 4 scene where he rips the picture off of the mirror. That meant something to me. But that was the only part of Rocky 4 that really clicked or meant anything.
Yeah, Rocky 4 is real bad.
Yeah.
Like, I watched that in 5 with you because that's when I was awake.
That's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. I think 5 had some really good ideas. Like, I think the conceptually was interesting.
I think
they
the
went
themes,
too dark.
I think the themes it plays with are good. It just poorly executed all of them.
Okay, I think
that's yeah, because like the whole kid thing, the whole like kid feeling jealousy over him having a protege, all of that could have been done a lot better. And then the going from being rich to not being rich and the transition thereof could have all been done well, but I felt like none of it was done well, especially if you saw Rocky 1 and how it handled its themes, which it only had like 1 or 2. But that was the movie for it. Like, the actual boxing match is so small in it, and the intro is like an almost completely irrelevant boxing match.
Huh.
Yeah. So, like, you contrast Rocky 5 against Rocky 1, and it's like Rocky 1 handled its themes relatively well. Rocky 5 fucked up every single one, and it just became stupid and surreal at some point of like, he's seriously just gonna beat the shit out of this 20-year-old kid in a street and everyone's cheering? What is even? And then that guy, don't touch me, I'll sue. I hate that character.
Yeah, the Don King.
Yeah. In any case. So yeah, Rocky was never all too great. The love story between Rocky and Adrian in the first one is a little rapey. And, I'm sure people listening to this think I'm exaggerating for the case of humor, for the sake of humor. No, it's pretty rapey. Not what you expect given all the later movies and how that relationship is portrayed and how, the whole Adrian scene would imply at the end of Rocky 1 of like, oh, they have this really deep connection and all he cares about is this chick he started dating sometime in the last 2 weeks that he got a little rapey right off the bat with. And somehow that worked out. And then she runs out and she's like, I love you. And he's like, and it ends. I'm not even kidding. So yeah, none of the Rocky movies are that great.
All right.
Not really.
I feel like I need to see 1 and 2 at some point.
Probably.
I've seen most of 3.
I'm trying to remember 3 specifically. So you had Apollo Creed again, Mr. T?
Yeah, Mr. T.
Okay, Mr. T. And Apollo Creed. Yeah, 3 was okay. I thought 3 was, out of all of the Rocky movies, probably on the upper tier, oddly. It is when it starts completely fucking up, Adrian as a character. But at least it doesn't drop the fucking... Okay, so a problem later Rocky movies have is none of them really have that intelligent thing of like, oh, okay, so the guy you're fighting's like this, so you're gonna have to change your style this way or do this sort of exercise routine to change yourself to overcome that or surprise him. Rocky 4 is when they drop that completely.
Yeah, Rocky
and
4
they were
was
just
super
like,
weird.
Go fucking run in an Alaskan or Russian forest.
He just got to get in shape again. That's all that it was. It was crazy.
Run through a negative 20-degree Fahrenheit river.
Don't get frostbite.
Just don't. Flex it away. Rip a picture off of a mirror so that way we can make GIFs of it. 4 and 5 are terrible about that. I mean, 5 mostly because there wasn't anything to that boxer. He was just really powerful and really good. And then, like, there was a statement that was trying to be made by the movie about how fake and gay boxing had gotten since Rocky quit.
Right.
And then there was an implication that touched on a subject I was thinking about since Rocky 3, which was if Rocky has the heavyweight championship title of the world and he stops boxing, does he have that forever? And Rocky 5 was like, yes. And I'm like, that's stupid.
Right, because he clearly had retired already at that point.
Right, if he's retired, then you gotta form some institution to create a new title. You can't just be like, he has it. I can't give that to you. So yeah, 4 and 5 are pretty bad. I want to watch Rocky Balboa again, just now that I've seen all the Rocky movies. I have a good understanding of what exactly they are.
Yeah, I don't remember any mention of his mental injury in Rocky Balboa. I'd like to see that again, just to see if that's in there.
Just to clarify, Rocky is mentally damaged in Rocky 5. Like, they acknowledge that, oh no, he has brain damage.
Yeah, that was another interesting thing for them to touch on, but they did it so poorly.
Yeah,
like because that is an actual problem. Like that was when it first started really coming into mainstream or like finding out about that in that time period.
Yeah, so it was just a thing that they saw in the news, so they threw in so that way it could be a story element because that's attractive. But then it never really realized itself in the script. The only way it presents itself is through Rocky having 2 Vietnam-esque flashback sort of PTSD moments, which are nothing like that sort of brain damaging. So I don't understand why they thought that was.
Right.
Because when he's in the street and he starts seizing. Yeah.
And then even the beginning of the movie had a more riotous scene because it was that was when he was not able to stop shaking.
Yeah.
And that was just dropped. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rocky 5 is really bad.
Rocky 5 is really bad. Rocky 4 is pretty stupid. Rocky 3 is already slipping off the slope because, like, I don't know. I seem to care immensely about Adrian as a character because in the first 2, she's clearly, like, super shy and has, like, Asperger's. Like, legitimately. Like, this isn't just me, like, throwing out, like, oh, this is how we would describe it. Like, no, there are people in the movie who touch on, no, she's retarded.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, her brother is like, no, man, she's like, there are implications there that she's literally damaged goods. And so that made the rapiness even weirder.
Yeah.
But all of that...
that just makes it like the scene in, what was that Tom Hanks movie where he had the box of chocolates?
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, yeah, it just makes it like that scene. It's fine.
Good God. Yeah, so that's what I learned over the last week. I learned that much like a lot of these movies I'm going back to see that, did crazy good numbers in theaters and everyone treats as fucking classics. Not saying there have never been good movies in the past. I think The Shining's fucking excellent. Like, that movie's really well shot, and I'm kind of sad that that's the only Kubrick film I've seen, as far as I know.
You need to watch Sylvester Stallone's real masterpiece, Demolition Man.
No, I've seen that, and it's not good. So stop saying that, because it's never going to be good, no matter how many times you say it's good. But yeah, in the world of video games, though, I played a shitload of Smash, and I actually have been trying to play as new characters over the last 2 weeks because I get tired of playing as the same ones, and people get tired of me playing as the same ones. So I think I'm now up to 7 or 8 characters that I can use pretty well.
Yeah, I noticed you started playing a lot more of Greg Ninja.
Greg Ninja, I don't like playing because I feel like he's bullshit. Like, people think the Villager's bullshit. I honestly think Greg Ninja's a bit more bullshit. Yeah, his teleport can just completely fuck people.
Yeah, that teleport is ridiculous, and it's weird because some levels you can see the shadow
pretty well because the camera angle, but then other levels the camera angle is completely straight on at the ledge, right, so you can't.
You can't, and then some areas even have a tiny bit of bumps around the edge, so you can't see it. And it's it's weird. And then if you're in the air, they're nothing.
Yeah. Actually, there is a shadow that appears on the ground if I'm in the air.
Okay.
But I don't appear on the ground.
Right. So essentially
stupid.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's... Oh, man. Yeah, so I've been doing that. I'm bringing back Kirby, which I'm sure makes my girlfriend Tosh mad because she plays as Kirby a lot. And I keep telling her, I'm like, don't use Kirby's running A. Like, you were never, ever supposed to use Kirby's running A.
Right.
They have always sucked. It was cooler before because he turned into a fireball, like he did in Kirby Superstar. He turned into a fireball and keep moving, but it was still a bad move.
Isn't this one still a bad move?
He just turns upside down and spins his feet, but
Right.
he does it for too long, so he's really susceptible. Like, he can run into you with that. You won't go flying at the end, most likely, so then you'll just hit him as soon as he stops. And she kept using that a lot and getting the shit beaten out of her by you and me, and sometimes Eric. And it just, I kept telling her, I'm like, stop using his running A. It's just a trap. It's a fucking trap. It's like using Ganon's up A.
I feel like too many characters have a running A that is a trap. Like, there's no benefit to it. Like Link's, there's a benefit if you pull that thing off, it's real good.
It is real good. Yeah,
No, but Kirby sounds like Ike's, where it's like, no, you just don't want to use it.
Yeah,
you have all those frames afterwards of just sitting there waiting to be killed.
Yeah, the only time you should ever use Ike's is from such a huge distance, because the reason you would do it is because he brings it up and you get that extra reach, which if your enemy's looking at your momentum and not being aware of what your running A is,
Right.
that will get them. But it's such a liability because of exactly as you were saying. There were so many frames afterwards of just like, dude, don't hit me. Kind of like Greninja's shitty counter,
Yeah.
which has maybe 4 frames of countering ability and hundreds of sitting there and doing nothing.
Well, you gotta look pretty pimp after.
And then if I do counter them and it's in midair, I'll miss. And if I counter them and it's on the ground, there's a pretty good chance I'll also miss. And if they do a running A into it, I'll definitely miss, because by the time I appear, they're behind me.
Yep. It's a great counter.
It's the worst counter in Smash history.
Yeah.
I would rather use Toad. Is there
Wow.
a customization move where I could swap that out? Because I'll take it. Because Toad comes out quick.
Yeah, he does.
And he goes
He's
away
one
very
direction,
quickly.
but yeah.
Yeah, he is one direction, but he sprays spores everywhere. So
Right.
it's cool. I like it. But yeah, looking forward to playing more Guilty Gear at Xrd.
Yeah,
We played a bit, and I like that new character, Elfelth.
Yeah, she's pretty crazy. Apparently, she's only free for the first week or so.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I guess I should sign into my PS4 and download her.
Yeah, so people at home, even if you're not buying it anytime soon, go download it now while it's free.
Yeah, on your PS3 and PS4. She's not normally unlockable,
No.
unlike
be $8.
Sin Kisuke, who is normally unlockable, but for some reason has a pay for DLC to unlock him.
Right? Because they won't give you the opportunity to spend the money, I guess.
I mean, to be fair, I could see myself, if I had a shitload of money, not wanting to put up with Guilty Gear story.
Well, you don't even need to play a story to unlock
Oh,
him.
okay.
You just get a lot of in-game currency, which can be got from doing verses or.
Oh,
just
okay.
playing.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's whatever. I don't care. In that case, I forgot. Yeah, that was. And then there's that trophy for get a million world dollars. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, okay. Well, time to get started. I know I wouldn't enjoy the latest Guilty Gear nearly as much without Elfelth and Bedman, because those two are really interesting and really new for Guilty Gear. Like, I don't like how much this is like people are worried about Street Fighter V being a lot like 4.
Right.
That is the exact situation we're hitting with Xrd here, where it is really similar to XX and the later XX editions. And that's like an amazing achievement because it's 3D, but at the same time, gameplay-wise, it's like, yeah, I played this for the last 13 years. I feel like most of the normal characters bore me. Like, I haven't played a Soul Bad Guy or Kai Kisuke since you bought it.
Right.
I think I did one match as Kisuke. Because
Yeah, I mean, they have a few new things, but it doesn't seem like they're majorly different. This is the first time I've actually sat down and tried to learn Guilty Gear, because I feel like back when the older ones came out, I really wasn't good at fighting games, and I didn't learn the moves that well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's because you played as Chip Zanoof, and Chip Zanoof is a fucking clusterfuck of a moveset.
Yeah, I feel like too many characters in Guilty Gear get in that territory. You probably put too many moves on this character.
You think? I mean, for Chip, my problem is his teleportation and disappearing, and a bunch of those moves are all triggered by very similar movements. Like, down, whatever, does several moves by him. So when you're trying to do double quarter circles, it'll trigger that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Also, the Guilty Gear input system is just systemically different from Street Fighter. What I'm trying to say here is Skullgirls needs to come out on the PS4.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, how are you enjoying it?
I mean, I like it. It's really interesting looking. I mean, a lot of it is new art, obviously. It's all new art.
Yeah.
It's nice to see all those new flourishes and stuff they have. And I feel like I said, this is the first time I sat down and really tried to learn Chip's moveset, and it's huge. It's insane how big it is. It kind of reminds me of Wiss Jam in the previous games of trying to learn her, and she had too many things that were on top of each other. So
I forgot how upset I was that Jam wasn't in this.
Yeah, her and Biken not being in this really upset me.
Yeah.
Especially when we have people like, I don't know, trying to think of the most didn't need to come back character, but
Sato.
Yeah, probably. I guess he's super relevant to the story, though. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Dizzy didn't come back either, so is she dead?
I don't know. Okay. I think that Dizzy's in that question mark territory of what's going on.
Where's she? Guess she's in the sequel. Which, there's one thing these guys are good at. It is giving you a game that doesn't feel like... I feel like with Blaze Blue, the first edition, we got enough characters. And then they just kept building on. Like, I think they're really good about making their expansions feel good, which Capcom, in my opinion, the Street Fighter editions didn't really do that great of a job at, and Marvel vs. Capcom 3 really didn't, but that's a different story entirely of they only had a year to make it.
Right.
Or 8 months. 8 months.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way, and the nice thing is that with this team, all the Blaze Blue has had like a good story mode to play through. Like, actually a good chunk of interesting stuff going on and reasons to care about these new characters. And
each, like in Blaze Blue, each character had their own story mode. Like, they each had their own story, which was great because even if you only care about one character, that means you get a whole story mode for that one character. Like, whereas a lot of games, like, let's assume you don't play as every character, you might, like, just going through a normal story mode, like, say, Soul Calibur's.
Right.
5. You have to play as a lot of people you don't like, and the story mode isn't relevant to your character, so you might just be like, eh.
Yeah, I feel like with the last Blaze Blue, they got a little bit into that territory, but at the same time, it was like a visual novel. It basically had almost no playing it, which I kind of enjoyed after so much of the lore, to just get this massive dump of, okay, we're progressing the story.
This is what happened. This is what's going to happen. You're welcome. Did you ever beat the story mode in that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I was curious. I still haven't played it. In fact, I don't even think I got through Continuum Shifts because that required me going through all the story modes of the first one on my Vita.
Oh yeah, that was a dumb
crazy
idea.
Yeah. It was. It really, really was. But yeah, hopefully with the next edition they'll add some interesting characters and a couple more old ones. But I feel like a lot of the reason I liked Blaze Blue when it came out was because it was whole new characters. So now that we're getting Guilty Gear again, it's great for the Guilty Gear fanboys, of which I know there are a fuckload. But for me, I'm like, oh, seeing this in 3D is neat from a technical perspective, but it's not like, oh man, so bad guys in 3D, woo!
Yeah,
also the voice cast sucks.
A lot of them do.
Yeah.
Like I like some of them. Like Chip's voice seems good, and Elfel's seemed good.
Yeah, I think those are my two favorites. Faust was
Faust did a good job.
Yeah.
I feel like the casting for Kai is good. You apparently hate it.
I think he should sound more like a cold, judgmental asshole. He doesn't have a trace of French, which I'll forgive. But, like, yeah, no, I think he really misses the mark. But whatever. We can get some guy who's just not shutting the fuck up about how he's king. He's probably reading it correct for the context of these new lines. Because he does have a weirdly, like, I don't know. The tone of his character in this one is a lot weirder than I felt it was from what I read of the older titles. Where in this one, he's like, no, we should work together and try to conquer the gears by cooperation.
I don't know. I always felt like what I read in even the older ones was he was basically like the traditional good guy. Like he's not that weird territory Jin Kisaragi gets into in Blaze Blue, where it's like, yeah, no, he's working for the quote unquote good guys.
I don't know. Anytime genocide's involved, you're not a good guy,
right?
And he was trying to kill all the gears, so
okay. I don't know.
And then he fucked one. And the act of doing that, I guess it threw out like one of his lumbar region discs, and it broke his character over his back. There you go.
But weren't gears that he was killing literally mindless?
I don't fucking know. I just know there was this genocidal, like, all of you gears deserve to die. Like, you need to be round up and imprisoned.
All right.
Which is why he hates Soul.
I don't know.
Good writing.
I
don't fucking...
But
yeah, I don't know.
Guilty Gear's a game. Go Packers.
Go Packers. But yeah, I like Blaze Blue more. So I look forward to Blaze Blue coming out in 3D, and then I'll be disappointed by how, like, it's the same too.
Yeah, that's something I forgot about for the news roundup. They announced the next Blaze Blue edition is coming out, and it's not like 3D upgrade, but it's hitting PS4 and Xbox One. It's just whatever the last one was called, Extend.
Yeah, that's sad just from the perspective of the arcade machines don't even run at 720p.
Oh.
So
yeah,
they'll probably just be scaling up the image instead of running a native 1080. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what it did.
I really don't expect them to have a full makeover like Guilty Gear has had, not for a long time.
I don't know. I mean, if this new way is that much more efficient, I could see them getting a 3D version sometime by the end of this gen. I mean, that's the thing, though. What you're implying is the reason Guilty Gear never got an in-between state is because they also wanted to do it at Blaze Blue territory. But I feel like since Guilty Gear was their sort of like prized egg, their golden egg, their prized chicken, that they were just like, we're going to push off that until we can do something better than what Blaze Blue is at. I don't feel like Blaze Blue is really treated in that same tone. Like, if it comes out at the same fidelity of Guilty Gear Xrd, I don't think anyone's pissed.
Yeah, I think that I'm assuming they don't have the manpower to do it, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Like, that would take a lot more teams. Like, if they want to keep making Guilty Gears and get Blaze Blue up to that point, I don't think that they have enough people to do it.
I think they do, just because I know how these people make sequels to their own games. Do you really think the next game in that series takes anywhere near as much effort as that one?
No.
Right. So they can easily shift that team, the primary people who worked on that team, over to bring Blaze Blue up to speed while they shit out another story mode, have new levels and songs, and add 3 to 6 characters.
Yeah, I guess that if they take Blaze Blue, like, obviously pare it way back like Guilty Gear was and bring it back down to more like the starting characters.
Right. Which is fine.
Right.
Like, I'd be okay going back to the root staff of the original staff of Blaze Blue 1. I would only be salty if it was something like, and now Noel and Tager and 2 other people are gone.
It'd be crazy if they made a Blaze Blue without Noel, I think.
I think so, too.
Because, I mean...
Now, that doesn't imply anything about whether or not we think they'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in Guilty Gear, we got back the ones that they couldn't not bring back, like
Soul and Kai.
Yeah. But they were, like, the only ones that were just so important to that series, strangely enough.
And yet, we got Potemkin and not Dizzy.
Yeah. I guess that there's always this tone of boss characters are less important.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh right, I forgot that Testament existed. He was really interesting.
Who? Testament.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he was a good sub boss Goro sort of character.
He was a fucking Ava. Yeah.
No, that was. I don't
No,
remember who that was. Testament.
Oh,
was,
sorry. Yeah, no. Testament's the weird metrosexual
with
Grim
with
Reaper.
The Seiss and
I was thinking, what is it, Judgment?
Judgment. That's the Ava.
Stupid fucking names. But yeah.
Yeah, Guilty Gear has. I need to play the story mode in this because Guilty Gear Lord is super stupid.
I mean,
like even compared to Blaze Blue, it just is off that deep end of. Oh, this is a really bad anime plot, isn't it?
they had that weird Viking dude that was like that
Cliff.
really. Yeah, Cliff. There were a lot of characters who didn't come back.
Cliff is like he's from Guilty Gear Original.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's why he always looked bad in the later games. They didn't redo him much.
Huh.
Yeah.
I was always wondering at what point he came in. I thought he was like a special character in XX and that was it. But in the originals, huh?
Yep.
We also don't have Robokai.
I know. It's tragedy.
There are a lot of characters not here.
Yeah. I the only one I really, really miss is Biken, because it's like that's the one I learned to main.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like Jam offered a sense of variety that I don't really get out of many other characters, mostly because I played Kai for years, so yeah. Oh, well. Hey, Bob.
Hey.
We should probably talk about the news.
I guess.
So, Bob, I love that it's just you and me here to talk about this one. Telltale is making Minecraft story mode. They're making a Minecraft game that's basically the Tales from the Borderlands style, where they're taking pre-established IP and then just, that's already a game, and then running off and making a new game out of it that is story focused. Hey, Bob, what do you think about that? Are you thrilled?
I'm sure that there's no way that can be good.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing people latch onto with Minecraft is you can be super creative in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't need a story mode.
Yes.
Why would they make that?
Because Minecraft is a popular IP and kids are idiots.
Yeah, I'm sure that some people...
I'm sorry, kids. People do this all the time. People are idiots. I hate this
There we
idea
go.
that younger people are more stupid than older. It's like, no, they're just naive. There's a fucking difference.
Yeah.
Which, like, when television tries to pawn shit off on kids, as a kid a lot of the times, I'm like, that's retarded. So,
Yeah.
like, being an adult doesn't fucking change your ability to detect bullshit, sadly. But yeah, no, fucking, this is stupid as hell. Telltale hasn't made a game that even attempted to be just normal funny since, God, can you count Back to the Future?
I guess those poker night things.
I guess. Okay.
Those Sam and Max was before Back to the Future, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you count Poker Night, that. If you don't count Back to the Future or Poker Night, then Strong Badia, which I believe came out after Sam and Max.
All right.
Or host, was it Strong Bags Games for Attractive People or whatever? The full title was. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this.
I will treat it like every other Telltale game and just not even look at it. Like,
See, that sounds like a pretty good idea because the only way I see myself playing this is drunk off my ass. Like, you know, the sort of way you look into a dark, cold terror of the universe. Like the idea of the father in the 1980s, like late 80s, early 90s, raising his kids, looking at terrible war atrocities on the news with a beer or some liquor in his hand. It is that. I would just play it by myself in a dark room with booze. Just be like, yep, this is what humankind has come to.
I feel like the last three even
Telltale games?
Telltale games have released with little fanfare and no one cared.
Well, let's see. Game of Thrones was that.
Yeah. Tales from the Borderlands was that.
Yeah, it kind of was that. It got more fanfare than fucking Fuck, I already forgot what it was.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yeah, it got
Yeah.
more fanfare than Game of Thrones, which says a lot about the Game of Thrones one.
Right. And then even Walking Dead season 2, after they got like partway through, it seems like
People stopped talking about it. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
All I know is this is gonna be fucking awful. Oh god.
I wonder if this is Microsoft's doing. I mean, they own the IP now. I'm sure that they would be.
They tend to. Telltale does tend to announce those pretty early after securing the rights.
Yeah.
They don't usually get
Game,
that far into production before they announce.
Game of Thrones was like that, where it leaked early. That's why it was so early, or so close to acquisition, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, they did that with Fables, which is what became the Wolf.
Oh,
something.
The Wolf Among Us.
The Wolf on Wall Street. Yeah, there we go.
The Wolf on Wall Street.
Yep. Lots of sex scenes, and I'm saying that because my brother said there were a lot of sex scenes in that movie. I would not quantify the amount of sex scenes in that movie as a lot. I would say there are sex scenes in that movie. That would be a way more accurate thing. I think there were like 3, maybe 4. Apparently, that's a lot. I don't know. Do you count getting a blowjob implied as a sex scene? You're like, how implied?
Yeah, I was like, I think that depends how implied it was, or
as an adult, I wouldn't count that as a sex scene when talking to another adult. But hey, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
Like,
how visceral is this?
If Bill Clinton has to count it as a sex scene, then so do we.
Oh yeah, is that how that works? Well, that's not a sex scene for Bill. That's having sex, and it is oral sex. So I guess whatever. I don't know. I side with Bill. Hey, let's talk about this next news, Bob.
What's that?
Microsoft engineers literally told the Sports Friends team that getting Johann Sebastian Joust, which is relying on the motion controls, the PlayStation Move, getting that working at all on Windows was impossible.
That sounds
They've
crazy.
been trying for a while to get it to work, and they just fucking couldn't. They apparently got it working on Mac and Linux. The way Windows handles Bluetooth drivers and stuff like that just makes it completely impossible. So Sports Friends is going to be launching on Steam. The Mac and Linux versions are going to have all the games, and then the Windows ones is going to be missing Johann Sebastian Joust, which is kind of funny because that's the reason the whole fucking collection exists.
Yeah, that's definitely the best game in there.
I think so. I mean, I enjoy Super Floppy Dicks or whatever it's called, Super Pole Riders. I mean, that already sounds bad enough by itself.
Right.
Super Pole Riders. But yeah, Johann Sebastian Joust is great. This is really fucking great.
That sounds crazy. Like, what is just because they were Move controllers?
It's
like
the way the PlayStation Move controller deals with Bluetooth connections and the way Windows do just makes it wholly impossible.
I guess they couldn't be like, oh, well, you need to have this weird accessory for the PC.
I mean, they could if they had any hardware manufacturing ability.
Right. I'm saying like one that already exists. Like you need your Nostromo.
Well, how would you hold a Nostromo? How would you hold 4 Nostromos?
I don't know. I don't even know.
Right. So I'm sure they're still looking idly into some solution and fishing for solutions. But as it is, it launched the night we're recording this, Friday, with no Johann Sebastian Joust.
Great.
Apparently. I say apparently because that's what I read. I didn't check the Steam store to double confirm because I assume people aren't lying about things being on Steam.
Right.
It's a little weird. Say, hey, Bob.
What's up?
Street Fighter V is running on Unreal Engine 4.
Whoa.
You know what that means? Every fighting game is running on Unreal Engine.
Yeah, that's insane.
It is.
I'm just like, I can prove Dan wrong here. Blaze Blue isn't. There we go.
Yeah, but that's...
Skullgirls isn't.
That's just the same game it's been forever. And I'm going to say that for both of those. So, I'm safe.
Yeah. So all new fighting games on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mortal Kombat X is Unreal Engine 3. Tekken 7 is Unreal Engine 4. Street Fighter 5 is Unreal Engine 4. I know there's at least one more Unreal Engine 3 one I'm missing, but I can't remember what.
Guilty Gear.
Guilty Gear, yeah. So that's hilarious.
That's crazy. I don't even...
Man, it's going to be hard getting the much higher detail models of BlazBlue characters into 3D. Because I feel like the Blaze Blue characters, since they were higher res, had more flourishes than Guilty Gear did.
They did, but they clearly added a whole bunch of flourishes to the Guilty Gear Xrd characters.
That's true. I worry about geometric detail.
Yeah.
That could be a hang up. But whatever, I'm sure by the time that Blaze Blue launches, it's going to probably be PS4 exclusive. Not be hanging on to last gen like some games have just gotten the idea of, which is DMC and Devil May Cry 4, which are finally coming out on the PS4 and Xbox One in what is a depressingly delayed move. That would have made so much sense this year, but it's coming out next year.
Right, and I'm
2015. It's like, here's your fucking up-res port for Devil May Cry 4, and all it is for DMC is it runs at 60 and it's up-res.
Well, there's a huge list of stuff they've done to DMC.
They're adding that Virgil mode for 4.
Yeah, that's confirmed for 4.
All that's confirmed for 4,
They're calling it special edition, so there's some hope that there's going to be more than just that. It's been 4 years, something like that, since 4 launched.
It's definitely longer than 4.
Okay.
It's either 5 or 6.
It might be 7.
No.
It's been a long time since 4 launched.
Yeah,
so.
I thought it was 08. Because 07 would be the first year the PS3 was out, and I don't think that was...
Yeah, I don't think it was that either.
I think it was early 08, yeah.
Yeah, because it was like, whoa.
Because it was really pre-trophies, but the trophies came out after that, and we're like, can we get trophies? And they're like,
Yeah. So I'm sure they'll have trophies this time.
Hey! There we go. Get a platinum in Devil May Cry 4. Power to the players.
But yeah, I'm honestly super excited about Devil May Cry 4.
Oh, I thought you were going to say DMC.
Oh, yeah?
Are you not super excited about DMC?
No.
Why not?
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
I will honestly. I am kind of excited to try it just because their list of changes is very thorough and like, hey, that game was a mess.
Yeah,
because they're adding in the lock-on system.
Jesus Christ,
that's the level of a mess that thing was.
That isn't a special edition. That's a different game,
basically.
But yeah, that's being handled by Ninja Theory. I thought you said.
Yeah, it's still being made by Ninja Theory, which is crazy that that's their other project, but. Hey, when this much needs to be fixed, it's a little weird to bring in a separate company to fix it.
I don't know. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
So I can't say anything, but...
And they're even adding in some community mods. Like, there was apparently a mod where... in DMC, there were these really stupid enemies where you could only hurt them with one type of... Or one, like, either evil or devil or angel weapon.
Yeah.
So they let you hit those enemies with any weapon. And they're putting that mod in.
Oh my god, that's depressing that they even have to...
Yeah, it was...
So, you're looking forward to that. When are those coming out? DMC's coming out in the next 3 months, right?
Yeah, DMC is in March, so I guess technically
3 months.
3 plus. There's 3.5, because we're still in December.
Yeah, but it's the 20th. It can't be 3.5, because that would be April.
Whatever.
So it's in 3 months.
Around that.
Yes. And the other one's what, May or June?
They just said summer.
Oh, okay. So, summer. Yay.
And hopefully this is some sign of, hey, maybe we're working on another Devil May Cry.
I'm sure they wouldn't be doing this if they weren't.
Right.
I'm sure they'll, before both of these are out, probably going to spill the beans on a Devil May Cry because Capcom's not brilliant. They don't think of these things terribly ahead of when they greenlight a game. Like, they don't handle IPs as well as Nintendo or other people, so they aren't like... Oh, hey, we own this thing. Let's make some HD ports. No, they're just like, oh, we're making that. Other companies do HD ports of older versions of games they're making.
I have to wonder if... I really hope that there is just already something in development, and it's not a matter of, oh, well, we need to see if this sells well. Like, no, that's like a 4-year-old game and a game that just didn't do well.
Yeah. 6 and
5-6-year-old game.
What was it? Hiroyuki Kobayashi, the guy from... Kobayashi's the dude who worked on Dragon's Dogma, right?
He worked on Dragon's Dogma and on Devil May Cry.
Yeah, 3 and 4 was
3 and 4. I don't remember. He switched between producer and director on those titles. I don't remember the way it worked out. There's also...
Yeah, I felt like he was...
Itsuno.
Okay, so in any case, about Kobayashi.
Okay.
He's working on a new game.
Right.
They said it was a new IP, right?
They just They were
just said-
super vague. It was a new
Okay,
game.
so it could be this.
It could well be the new Devil May Cry.
Right, so there we go. That supports my theory if Capcom's not bright. This really could just be happening because they're working on a new one.
Right.
And they'll probably drop the beans on that sometime or spill the beans on that sometime soon. Bob, did you hear about Assassin's Creed Unity?
Yes.
It received a 40 gigabyte update patch. 40 fucking gigabytes!
I hear, from what I was reading, that is a glitch that it is that big.
Yes.
That is retelling the whole game.
Yes.
And they don't have a schedule for when they're fixing that.
No. You know, I'd be fucking angry if any game made me re-download the whole game as a patch.
Yeah. Understandably.
Because we have this thing called data caps. And those data caps, they don't like me re-downloading entire games.
Not when those games are 40 gigabytes.
No, sir. Holy shit. Can Assassin's Creed Unity get any worse? I hear that same patch increased pop-in and then also had an animation for them popping in.
Yeah, I hear when the PS4 version, though, it actually makes it run somewhat decently.
Yes. Which
so
kind of is to be expected that's why you would do that. If it's increased pop-in, you would assume that's
you would
at the
assume
cost.
that, but some of the absolute worst frame rate zones in Assassin's Creed have 0 characters to pop in.
So maybe this game will be in shipping condition sometime in March.
Yes, maybe.
God, and then the new one was announced. I really think motherfuckers need to stop buying Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
They just need to stop because they're going to keep doing this to you guys until you stop buying them entirely.
Yeah, it's just the state of that game is sad. I hear the crew is around that same level of just broken.
I think it's great. I think it's amazing. I don't know. See, but that's the thing with me though. Like I feel like experience-wise, most AAA games are fucking garbage that want to suck my soul out. So the fact that it is literally a burning pile of garbage makes it way better. That it's just like, oh no, this is principally and technically broken. I'm just like, good. Fucking vampires.
Right.
Because they're like, we have 100 hours of content. I'm like, I just wanted like a few dozen good hours of do you have no? Okay.
Look, no, we're not doing that, and we never will.
Never will again. Dragon Age Inquisition was, what, 100 hours for Eric, or 80? Somewhere between 80 and 100, and I just hear about that, and I'm like, wow.
The weird thing with that number was that it was 40 hours on 2 different characters, and he beat it at the 40-hour mark on one
the
of them.
second one, yeah.
And it's like, okay.
So I guess that would be 40 hours, which is technically short for an RPG.
Right.
iPhone.
And
What's
yet,
up? Oh, people are saying words. And yet,
it moves. I'm sorry. Okay.
And yet it moves, yeah. We were saying 40 hours is short for an RPG.
And yet there's apparently a lot that he has not done. So that can go up a lot, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Is there a lot he hasn't done?
That's what he was saying.
Oh, okay. I was just curious about that. Let's talk about Eric while Eric's not here. Man, that guy sucks. He plays as DDD all the time. What an asshole.
God.
He also plays as Ganon and Villager. Man, he's just the worst friend I've ever had.
Those are some really weird names for Dragon Age Inquisition characters, you know?
No. They aren't. Those are normal names for Dragon Age Inquisition characters. I always wanted Western RPGs to go to the approach of customizable names via syllables. So that way it's like, oh, good. Commander Shepard. Because, you spell out your name and then it's like, oh, okay, is that name? And then it would try to say it back. Holy shit, I set you to vibrate. Okay, there. In any case, and it tries to say the name back, and then you get to tell it what part it messed up, and you get to keep poking through to get the correct syllables for whatever your name is. So you get a custom name, but it'll never sound right.
Huh.
Because just the name part of the sentences will be like some synthesized spoken word.
Right.
So they're making voice fonts for all of their voice actors and actresses.
That would be really cool. I would enjoy that a lot.
I would too. It'd probably be jank as hell.
It would.
But I would immensely be entertained by that.
But I mean, I had that hope when I put in Final Fantasy X because it let you name the main character. I was like, really? They're gonna say the name? That's crazy. Because the whole thing was
because I'm 13 and I don't understand how games work. And yes. That is exactly what happened.
So that's why Titus, my game, is named Barrel Man. I thought that they'd say it. They didn't.
Oh, that's depressing.
Yeah.
Both your name and the fact they didn't say it. The dings from my phone were James Gilmore, or Jimmy G, as he appeared on the Sonic stream.
Yeah.
Tweeting about how great Revengeance is.
Oh, yeah.
Because he bought that. It was $6 on Steam recently. And he's very elated over how it tells you how many pieces you cut them into.
Yes. Because it needs to.
Yeah. Platinum is just the best fucking developer, man. They're so great.
I really want a Revengeance 2. Like, that on next gen would be great.
Yeah, that would be another day one $60 purchase for me. I remember it was like, oh man, this is so great. I need to buy this on day one. And it's not even about like, I need this when it comes out. I never really experienced that so much. It's more like, I need to support these people with the day one $60 purchase, because that actually shows support. Buying it down the road used or buying it at a lower price doesn't support developers nearly as much. And you know how Platinum's financial support is.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
I love buying Twisted Metal and Starhawk on day one. Didn't really help.
No, Dan.
No.
No.
Thanks, Sony. Maybe you advertise games that... I mean, they advertised Starhawk a lot. I don't remember seeing nearly as many ads for Twisted Metal. Yeah, because I saw Starhawk ads on websites everywhere around the time it was coming out.
I feel like there was a decent bit of advertising for Twisted Metal, just when people started like finding out what it was and how it wasn't a typical Twisted Metal, they just lost interest.
Yeah, I feel like they made a really bad choice with that.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been okay that the story modes were 2 hours long if we got like 12 of them.
Yeah, if they had a story mode for every character,
like old Twisted Metal, yeah, then probably would have been fine with everyone.
And even if it didn't have as high production values per character. Like if it was
the old Twisted Metals, I think that would go pretty bad.
No.
You have 10 grand, make a game. 10 grand? This is the most we've had since Twisted Metal 2.
Wow. But yeah, no, I'm saying like not as high as it is in its current form.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere that's more cut or more in line with the older stuff of motion comics even.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the motion comics were okay in Head On, but I still wish they were... I mean, Twisted Metal Black did it right. It did CG stuff, and it had, like, correctly well-done stories for each character. Like, a lot of people don't remember. So in Twisted Metal Black, you had a cutscene when you started up, you had a cutscene about halfway through that told you even more about your character, and then you had an end cutscene. And they were all fairly lengthy, so you got a lot of storytelling out of that. That would have been just fine. Proper motivation to play through, because, of course, the middle one gives you more details. And it was weird. It was actually written in a way so that way the first one sort of establishes the character, and then the second one makes you question some stuff and wonder about things, and then the third one, twists it and inverts your expectations. Like, that was well written. What the shit? Like, the new one didn't even do that well.
Huh.
Like, at all, actually. So, yeah, that would have been nice. Bob, why can't good things happen to series I like?
I don't know.
It's like, hey, Dan, Tony Hawk, dead. Twisted Metal, gone. What do you love next? Nothing. I love nothing. Are you happy, God? Yeah, oh, man, that's a pretty accurate statement. I'm like, man, what games do I even... Skullgirls, and we see how that's going. Skullgirls 2, coming out in 2020.
Yep.
Oh, well, at least we did the Indiegogo to get them a shitload of cash so we could get a buttload of characters.
Right, it'll be nice when all those are out, and then we can just... I really wonder what they'll move on to.
Yeah, I feel like they're probably actively courting someone.
Right.
It'd be nice if Sony came in and was like, man, for the amount of money we pay for Street Fighter exclusivity, you could make a whole game.
Yeah.
Here's 2 mil. You're like, wow, Lab Zero with 2 mil. What would that would make the best Metroidvania ever? Is what they would do.
I was like, how much did we get them on that Indiegogo?
Shit. I don't remember. I'll look it
I
up.
want to say it was like 200,000, maybe 300.
I'm inputting my girlfriend's passcode to her iPhone. What is wrong with me? Okay, here we go. Come on. Skullgirls.
Go Dan, go!
Oh yeah, I'm blowing up my phone here with how fast I'm typing. That was weird. Indigo Skullgirls Main 6 MANE. Please tell me that wasn't My Little Pony thing. Oh well, I will continue to the actual mobile site instead of taking your fucking app up my ass. 828,000.
Okay.
I thought it was shy of a mil, but not too shy of a mil.
Yeah.
And that got us how many characters?
Well, it was
Butler?
Big Ben, Squiggly, Eliza, and Beowulf.
And
And
Robo
then-
Fortune.
and Robo Fortune.
So, Big Bang.
That's 5.
If you count Robo Fortune.
Yeah, if you count Robo Fortune.
Which I'm sure she's different enough where we should count it. But, yeah. So then you would assume that we've also gotten levels. So it's not like it's just characters. We get quite a few more levels, at least 4 or 5 now.
Yeah, I feel like it's at least 1 per character, and then they've added some extras other than that.
Yeah, they offered some daylight change stuff. Like, I feel like there were 2 levels that were like that. And aside from that, at least 3 or 4. So, yeah, I feel like they could probably make... Because that you got to keep in mind, with crowdfunding sites, they take a cut.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so with 2 mil from Sony, they might be very well capable of doing something substantial. Because those cuts are pretty large, like a fourth.
Jeez.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's a lot of money. Most people don't realize. Which is why it's like, hey, how come I'm paying so much for something that doesn't exist yet? It's like, well, 1, because you have a heart of gold. But 2, more importantly. But yeah, I digress. Bob. The Sky 5's coming to the US in fall, I presume, of next year, not going back in time 3 months and coming out.
That is right, Dan.
Okay, cool.
Very, very assumptuous of you, though.
Assumptuous. That is a word.
Yes.
Totally. Assumptuous. Scrumdiddly assumptuous. So that's PS4 exclusive,
Yeah,
right?
that's PS4 exclusive.
And it looks exactly like the last game, right?
Thereabout.
Okay, so just checking that was the situation we were in.
Well, look, that is the situation.
Uh-huh.
And it's fine. Everything's fine.
Both of these things are true. That is the situation, and it's okay. I didn't realize, silly me. But, okay, that's neat.
But yeah, I'm excited to see. I mean, I expected them to bring it to the States, but I wasn't sure if it was even going to be within the year, because it's actually launching around March or so in Japan.
Okay.
So that's a pretty fast turnaround. Hopefully it still gets full dub and everything like they've been doing for Disgaea.
Yeah, I would assume.
It's just they've gotten super lazy on everything that's not Disgaea. Like,
Yeah?
Yeah, they don't even...
Like what?
What was that? It wasn't... I don't remember.
Okay.
Like all the Idea Factory games, I'm pretty sure they don't get dubs.
Now, here's a good question.
What's up?
Does Idea Factory deserve it?
No, they don't.
Yeah, I knew that was your opinion, so I set you up for that. So, teamwork. Yeah, I still need to play Disgaea 4.
4 is definitely my favorite so far. So I'd really like to see 5 and see what they do with it. I wish that they would do other things, but at the same time, it's
like they did back in the PS2 days.
right, because every other year, basically, it was like something that's not Disgaea, something trying new things with tactical elements.
I'm trying to remember ones that aren't Phantom Brave or Makai Kingdom.
Phantom Brave, Makai Kingdom, World Eaters.
Oh.
Yeah, that was basically it.
Okay, yeah, but Phantom Brave was... I really, really like what Phantom Brave's going for, so it'd be really nice if they did switch it up and stop just making one game.
Right, and Makai Kingdom basically took Phantom Brave and just made it even better.
Right.
That's the way I feel about that, anyway.
Well, but you're talking mechanically. Like, I'm saying, for what Phantom Brave was tone-wise, like, I really like that over Disgaea as a complimentary. Like, this isn't more of the same. Whereas Mackay Kingdom is a lot like Disgaea's Tone.
It is very similar in tone.
It is like hilariously the same jokes level of like, oh, and then he's angry, and then he reads the thing that's like, this book isn't yours, idiot. And then he's like, what? Fuck you. I'm the biggest badass in the universe. And then he gets turned into a book. Do-do, boop.
Yeah, I guess that Phantom Brave is a lot more like down to earth and.
It's down to earth. Yes, yes. Islands full of fucking phantoms is fucking down to earth. It's very grounded.
When you
in
compare
reality.
it to Disgaea, yes,
it has a somber tone.
Yes,
it is a heartful adventure, and it is very sweet and cute. That is how I would describe that. Not down to earth. Hell, I don't know. Does anyone get turned into a book in Phantom Brave? I feel like it could happen.
No, that doesn't happen.
There was a port of Phantom Brave to something. Was that the PSP?
Yeah, I think so. Wii.
Because that added stuff.
Yeah, Wii.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't the PSP at all then.
Well, hell, that's better than PS2. Because it's progressive cam.
Yeah.
I just, I still have that copy on the PS2. I just don't want to play a PS2 game. It's interlaced and gross. Ew. And I don't want to pull out a CRT to play a tactical RPG. But I also don't want to look at, like, shitty interlaced video on this HD TV. What a conundrum. Avast. Okay.
Maybe it has progressive scan. We don't know.
I'm pretty sure it fucking doesn't. It's nothing. Like, very few games on the PS2 did.
Right.
It's unfortunate. Too bad it didn't come out on the GameCube. Because I have component cables. No one else does. Because they're like $120 or something. Probably more than that now. Did I ever tell you about some dude set up a schematic to build your own?
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Fucking nuts.
It is crazy.
It kind of makes sense though. All you have to do is just replicate the ASIC inside of that thing. But yeah, in any case, that's the news roundup. Thanks for joining us for this podcast, Bob. You look like you have something to say before we go.
I'm just like, I'm looking at these news stories went over. We were like, hey, all this stuff was awful.
Just to be fair, with the way Unreal Engine and fighting games is going, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad thing.
It's crazy.
I feel like we hit up the Minecraft thing. The Microsoft saying that Johann Sebastian's Joust just won't work. Assassin's Creed being garbage.
Yep, and DMC.
Which I guess...
On a new console.
Yeah, which is more of just, this took too long.
Yes. Yeah. It's, yeah. It was a great positive news roundup, in my opinion, especially the part before that where I was just talking about Rocky was never good and you're all idiots. So, Bob, what old movie franchise are we going to hit up next? Because I already own all of Planet of the Apes.
I don't want to watch that.
I like those way better than Rocky.
Yeah, all of them?
Overall.
Overall, okay.
I'm going to say overall I like those more. Just because it does a really good job of gracefully transitioning from legitimately good movies into hilariously bad movies. It doesn't hang out in the in-between like 4 does.
Okay.
Like, Rocky 4 and 5 they aren't bad enough. In my opinion. Like, Rocky 4 might have been it if the Russian dude was, like, doing stupid shit of, like, bending cars or, like, punching down Rocky's house. Like, Planet of the Apes 4 and 5 are fucking stupid.
Yeah, like, God.
Moronic is a fucking good way to describe
Remembering
those.
4 hurts.
Yeah.
And
then the apes
5.
completely changed how they look, and they could stand on 2 legs and fucking cook and bellhop and waiter and use guns. Yeah. And it's been 10 years. So I love how, I don't know, I love the look of them. I really do. I love how it's like I don't know, it's like 1970s architecture pretending to be future architecture. Like I like how weird that looks.
That is definitely interesting. Like kind of like the Aliens films were 1980s technology but future.
Yes.
Which was cool as well.
I thought so. But yeah, I'll agree that Planet of the Apes 5 is about as bad as Rocky 5.
Wow. Okay.
That they're both just like, stop! Oh, God! Yeah, I can't think of any other classic movie franchises that we just need to hit all of.
Maybe Godfather? I don't know. It's supposed to be real good.
Yeah, okay. And that is on Netflix, right?
I don't think so.
I know one of them is.
Oh.
It's gonna be 3, I bet.
Yeah, 2 or 3, just so it's impossible to watch it in order.
Go fuck yourself. I have to wonder why Rocky 1 through 5 was on there. Do they expect us to go watch or buy Rocky Balboa? Do they think we're going to do that? Because most of the time when they do these things, it's like they leave out the new one, but there isn't a new one in Rocky. There's just one that's 6 years old or 7 years old or whatever.
It has been a long time since that came out, because that was before even Expendables started up.
Yes. Yeah, and that's on its 3rd entry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's going to have to be Godfather. Oh, God. Oh, no. That's going to be a hell of a roller coaster. Oh, man, this is really great. Everyone was right. Oh, no. God, why? Take me back to Apocalypse Now.
I have this lingering fear that it's just going to be Scarface again, and none of it's good.
Oh, God damn it. Man, I forgot Scarface was bad. Damn it.
Welcome to the GigaBoots podcast, where we just hate old movies.
Do you guys want us to do a fucking movie podcast? Me and Bob were talking about it. It'd be really funny. We'd do it like once every 2 weeks or once a month, and it would just be this. But a lot more in detail instead of like, that was shit. Yeah, that was garbage too. But yeah, no, I'm just watching a lot more movies, and I was like, man, it would be great to talk about Rocky 5 on the podcast. So I did. GigaBoots has been brought to you by the support of our producers Vincent Poverk and Cywolf via our Patreon. Consider becoming a GigaBoots patron today.